All right. I have to admit, I do like the look of the Pantera. Pantera and Lupin. Lupus, sorry. I think I like the Pantera a little bit more, not sure. All right, so I can see that some more people have hopped on. So yeah, if you guys want to give me some direction in the chat, I'm more than happy to try and voice or record some of what you are looking for or asking for. I've run out of script that they wanted me to do, unless there's things that you guys feel that I should go ahead and try again. So if you were tuned in for the last stream and you felt that there were lines that I could do better, maybe I could sound better, you think I wasn't recording into the microphone and couldn't be heard, but I will tell you now this microphone is very sensitive and was picking up all of it. I actually had my thumb pop way off camera, way down and away, and actually picked that up on the microphone. Had to re-record lines before. But let's see here. I will admit I've got quite a few questions. I'm a little bit curious as to what's going on with Bless. So there's been a lot of news and hype and whatnot. There's obviously the constant talk and debate of, is Bless Online worth playing in 2018? And I have read reviews going both ways on that. I know at the initial release, people were really upset with Bless when they were first testing it and stating that the combat was too slow, that it was really rickety. It seemed like they tried to cater to both the action-oriented and the tab targeting for combat. And the combination of trying to do both really just left them not doing well at either, unfortunately. But again, that's the original release. That's the 1.0 release. That's what was released over in Russia, as I understand it. There weren't any changes to the original code before it released in Russia. And in the end, what I'm hearing and what I'm seeing and what I'm reading online is that basically sort of led to a really sloppy initial release of the game there. They're not getting a newly revised combat system like we are. The early access for Steam is going to have a new and revised combat system. I'm imagining it's still going to be built and based off of what was there originally. Unfortunately, I never got a chance to play it. I was not willing to go so far as to violate laws to get an account to be able to play on the Korean servers and then hack it and patch it with a English patch. While I am really interested in the game, I really want to play it. I'm really looking forward to trying it. I can wait until it's here legally, which, thankfully for us, that's going to be May. And who knows, maybe sooner for people that are actually selected as emissaries. I will admit I'm hoping to be one of those individuals, but we'll see how that ends up going. So does anyone have any questions out there? By all means, feel free to ask, or again, feel free to hop in my Discord channel. I'm going ahead and paste that link again. And I'm more than happy to have two-way conversation. You could definitely be on the stream talking with me, and I've got no problem with that. So let's open it up. What do you guys want to discuss? And I really need to fix that. Okay, the filter's getting fixed right now. So I am tired of my lip disappearing. Chroma key. Can I get my lip back, please? Check 1, 2. Let's see how that does. A little bit better. Back it off a little more. Yeah, you can actually kind of see what I'm using in the background there showing up. Okay, so that looks a little bit odd, and my lip is still disappearing. That's what I get for using red. What do I think about music from Hans Zimmerman? Hans Zimmer, sorry. I have to unfortunately admit that I am not that well versed in Hans Zimmer and what compositions he's made for us. I'm really sorry. I'm going to have to be a little bit embarrassed about that. And I'm going to have to be really embarrassed the fact that it's still not showing up in this room here. Like, I see it show up there, but it's not showing up for me. That's awesome. He's making the music to Bless. Okay. I am really excited to see what that's going to sound like. I know that I've heard the name Hans Zimmer before. I'm very certain that I've heard his name in connection with a few musical scores, just not sure what. And as to which movies those would be for. That said, what I've seen, what I've heard of Bless so far, I have been enjoying the music, and I'm looking forward to seeing what that's going to look like. Again, unfortunately, since I haven't actually been in the game, I can't promise you anything regarding that and actually state anything to the effect of, oh yeah, it's this awesome soundtrack, it's going to be beautiful, it's going to blow your mind, but you'll see how that ends up going. Okay, and yes, no, actually looking up Mr. Hans Zimmer, yeah, no, definitely a fan of his work. I absolutely loved The Dark Knight, which he definitely worked on, Inception, Lion King. I will admit this is a cursory Google glance in order to see what he's done, but yeah, no, I actually really liked the soundtrack for The Dark Knight. I found it to be very driving, compelling. I felt like it complemented the movie very well. It definitely highlighted very important moments in the film very well, and it takes a lot of talent, a lot of genius to be able to do that. And to hear that he's actually going to be the one that's working on this project for the soundtrack for Bless, that's actually really extra bonus points. I'm really looking forward to that now. So thank you for pointing that out. Draco Last Dragon. Awesome. Thank you very much. All right. So this probably looks very weird. Oh yeah, no, they're definitely getting a lot of big talent, and it looks like they're. And I'll admit, this is actually one of the things that I'm really excited about is that they're going all out for this, but they're also going in a way that feels like rather than just trying to produce a game and release it, they want to invest into a community. They want to have a lot of fun with it. And one of the things that I actually have been pointing out to a lot of my friends is that it feels like what they're doing with the Emissary program is they're trying to intentionally build the kind of community that was built in World of Warcraft and the like there. Blizzard got really lucky, and the community kind of stumbled upon them at the same time that they were releasing the game. It was kind of hectic. They didn't really know exactly what was going on, but they were having a lot of fun, and the fans were having a lot of fun. And you'll know basically that over a period of time, Blizzard went from being extremely hush-hush, you can't talk about our betas at all, you can't disclose this information from the betas at all, don't talk about it, it's all really hush-hush, hush-hush, don't talk, got to keep it quiet, got to keep a lid on it. And then slowly over the progression of the game, we've gotten to the point where suddenly it's, oh, you're a streamer? Here's a beta key. Please, hype it up, talk about it. We want you to talk about it. We want you to get people excited. And they've realized that the community is an extremely important part to the success of the game. And it's really sad to me that there are a lot of games out there that don't necessarily get that. I'm excited to see that NeoWiz is working to make Bless have that same kind of community. They're working to try and spin people up, get them excited. And on top of that, they even state they're looking for people to give them feedback and information. They're looking for community leaders. You don't have to be a streamer or a artist or anything like that to be in the emissary program. You can actually be out there developing websites like Wowhead or things like that, contributing to a wiki that provides lots of information about the game and helps other players to find the things that they're looking for, so that they become less frustrated if they're actually wandering around for hours on end trying to figure out where they're going. Funny story, actually, during the beta of World of Warcraft, the original, I actually got lost for a very long time trying to do my druid quest to get bear form, and seeing a cave with a bunch of weird bear-like looking things, I went charging up that. That turned out to be a bunch of Furlbogs on the way to Fellwood. My little level 10, 15 night elf did not last long, and very stupidly I continued, actually very determined, pushing on down that tunnel. Wowhead would have helped out very much at that point in time, but didn't exist yet. But yeah, no, I am really excited, really looking forward to this, really looking forward to the way that they're trying to build up the community and actually have it where they have both the information gathering and, discovery and aspects and teaching about, what's coming in the game, what's coming in release, what have people not really liked so much. And the idea that they're actually going to have the devs actually give an ear to those emissaries to basically take your voices, what they're hearing from you on their streams and their different chats and their channels and their forums, and the way that they're actually receiving feedback, and reporting that back to the devs and having the devs' ear to actually state, yeah, no, we kind of like this more, we like this less. What can you do on fixing this? I'm hoping it's not going to end up where we end up bouncing back and forth between class balancing. I don't think that's necessarily going to be a thing, but it could be. I don't know if you've read too much on it regarding the PvE aspect versus PvP. A lot of people have been kind of upset about the idea that the servers are going to be PvP. There's no separate PvE server. Now, there are ways to make it so that you are not tagged for PvP. And rather than have it be something where you just flip a flag on or off, it's a conscious effort of here's an item that you need to consume. As I understand it, it's been kind of vague and sketchy as to whether or not it's okay, I consume this thing and it lasts for a few hours. I saw somewhere that someone said that it was lasting 10 minutes. I don't know about the validity of that. I don't know if through early access that's something that'll end up sticking around based off of community feedback. But I am really excited to see exactly what's going to happen with the PvP aspects, what's going to happen with the PvE aspects. And I'm really excited to see what they're going to do with this game. They've said that they've reworked the idea of the guild structure. So, I mean, does that mean something like, I don't know, if there's a reputation system in the game, maybe as a member of the guild, someone could actually have their reputation, work to have gotten their reputation higher, and they can be a representative for the guild, getting maybe special faction quests or things like that for the guild to then carry out and work on the entire guild, building up that guild's reputation with that particular alliance. So maybe having like a guild alliance or a guild reputation as well as an individual's reputation with a particular faction, and having that actually work for you so that, someone new comes in and joins the guild. They're trying to get this reputation. Oh, I see that you're a part of this guild. Since they've accepted you, we could start you a little bit higher as far as your personal reputation goes, and it can either rise or fall depending on your actions and how you actually treat that faction. That would be an interesting mechanic to see in my mind. It might be a little bit of a nightmare to implement. Knowing a little bit about code, there are some crazy things that definitely come in there if you start trying to track too much for too long. Now, I will state that what I've seen of Bless so far, even the character that's actually behind me right over here, I feel like what they've gone for with the graphical appearance is something very similar to what's going on, say, Guild Wars 2 or Final Fantasy 14. And I have to admit, I like that style. And what I'm really happy about is that we've gotten to a point where MMOs now have characters that fit the world. If you ever played EverQuest or EverQuest 2, you might understand what I'm talking about, where like the world seemed super dull and the characters seemed like super shiny and reflective, or vice versa. That really felt disjarring to me, having that graphical difference. That's one of the things I actually absolutely loved about World of Warcraft. Yeah, the models were simplistic, but the models were simplistic all across the board. What was in the world fit with what the characters actually were, and it felt like it all belonged as part of one living, breathing, growing world. I'm really excited to see Bless Online. I'm really excited to see the graphics that are there. I was really excited when I first started seeing videos for that, I feel like a year ago, and I was like, oh, what's that MMO? I need to check that out. Sad that it got canceled with the original developer. I don't know exactly what happened there, but I'm really glad to see that NeoWiz is pushing forward to try and bring it out here to all of us. So honestly, I really don't think I could talk too much more. I'm really starting to feel like I'm just talking for the sound of my voice. So if there are any more questions, by all means, feel free to ask. If I don't see any more questions in a few minutes, then I'm just going to go ahead and call it a night. And I will be streaming more. I'm planning on actually having a streaming event next Tuesday, where I'm going to actually have tried to look online, gather more information, gather questions from people, and try and actually have a sort of sit-down chat. And by all means, at that point, if you have Discord, if you want to hop in, I've got no problem with that. I'd love to have an actual conversation with the community and try and talk with more individuals that are getting hyped up about this. Hear the things that you know, learn the things that you know, and work on trying to get that all shared in one common spot where people can enjoy it. So once again, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching me make a fool of myself as I was trying to hopefully get my voice into some of the crowd-acted scenes that are going to be in the game. I'm really excited about this, and I'm really excited to continue doing this for all of you. So take care. Have yourselves a good night. And there is a spot over here.